Alright, the things you are going to need for flashing a Liteon, doesn't matter which series now, the things you will need is a way to power your Liteon, recommended for a CK3 Lite or Pro, and of course your CK3 probe. This is the version 3 probe. It is recommended that you have version 3 of the probe. If you have anything else, I don't think you're going to be able to do the 9 or 8 series without having to do trace cuts. And you're going to, of course, want to have your drive hooked up to a SATA port in your computer, or if you have the 360 USB, you can just have it hooked up like this to your USB port. It's very precise on which point you got a probe on the drives now. Now, when you take it apart like this, it's going to look like this. You want to look for the right side over here. You see point WPX01? It's those 4 little things right there, the 2 on the right and the 2 on the bottom. You take your probe right here. The point you probe is right there. And warning, do not put your probe on that metal right there next to it. It can slip. That is an electrical contact and it can cause shortage. Okay, now that you're on the computer, it's going to look like this. You're going to want to go to DVD key 32. Now, like I said, if you're using a 360 USB Pro, you don't got to find your port. It'll find it for you automatically. And if you're using a direct SATA connection on your motherboard, you'd have to scroll through the I/O ports and find it. Now, because I've already flashed this drive, the key is already verified, but if you haven't flashed it, it's going to say unverified. First thing you want to do is find your probe, and remember the point WPX01 or MPX01. Now you're going to click Fat key. Now wait for that right there. Now that before you're about to click yes, what you're going to want to do is don't click yes just yet. You're going to find that point again, put your probe on it, hold it down. Now if you have the CK3 probe, your cord should come with the power button right here. Now just press that power button like that. The probe will turn off, turn it back on. You could take it off, and now press yes. Now it'll tell you the extract is complete. Now what you gotta do is hold that power button, hold the power button for 5 seconds, make sure your probe is off. After 5 seconds, you can now click OK and then turn it on. Now click OK, and got your key. This applies to the 9 series and the 7 series Liteon drives. Okay, now after you saved your key, you want to load up the target firmware. Go to the folder, Liteon, Fat Console. Now the bottom ones right here you don't want to use. You want to go to the 025 version 1.91, click Spoof Source to Target. Now if this is the first time you're flashing from the 7 series firmware 20251 or 9 series, it's going to tell you that the firmware is incorrect. Believe me, it is correct. You're going to have to use this firmware. Just click Liteon Erase. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. Now you want to click yes. Vendor intro will be set. Now there's going to be 1 line of code, and then once the second line comes up, that's when you power the drive off and back on. Click yes. Now we're going to wait. Now you see that second line, now you power it off, power it back on. Now you see that second line, now you power it off, power it back on. It's going to say in vendor mode. Now all you want to do is click write. Now it'll say write verified OK. Now you can do an outro ATA reset and your drive will show up. Now it has the latest iXtreme 1.91, and if you haven't watched my video on what 1.91 is all about, what it takes away, what it adds, and what safety precautions you should take, you should watch the video on screen now or in the annotation or in the video description down below. So there you go, you flashed your Liteon 7 series or 9 series or 8 series depending on if you're going to use the probe for that. So I hope this tutorial helped. A liking down below, like I always whore it out, is appreciated. Until next time guys, I will see ya.